In the ever-turbulent world of Port Charles, where love rarely comes without consequence and history lingers like a shadow over every embrace, the return of one woman threatens to destabilize the emotional foundation of several lives. Britt Westbourne, long thought to be a casualty of The Hook, is rumored to be returning to General Hospital, played once again by Kelly Thibaud. But her reappearance, far from being a mere resurrection, is poised to reopen wounds, reignite passions, and possibly destroy carefully reconstructed relationships. At the heart of it all stands Jason Morgan, stoic and loyal as ever, and Carly Spencer, whose complicated attachment to Jason is both her strength and her greatest vulnerability. When Jason and Britt first connected, there was something undeniably powerful between them, something that surprised even those who had come to expect Jason's unwavering loyalty to Carly. Britt, scarred by a troubled past and fighting to redeem herself, found in Jason a kind of calm that she never thought she deserved. For his part, Jason saw in Britt not a liability, but a fierce and intelligent woman whose imperfections made her all the more compelling. Yet their romance was cut tragically short, not by disinterest or betrayal, but by circumstance. Jason was forced into a marriage of protection with Carly, believing Sonny to be dead. The wedding, steeped in strategy and sacrifice, left Britt alone and betrayed, a casualty of yet another Corinthos family crisis. Now, with Britt possibly returning from the dead, or perhaps stepping into Port Charles as a new character with a haunting resemblance, the emotional stakes for Jason and Carly are higher than ever. Carly, who has always operated with an innate sense of control over Jason's life, may find herself at odds with the idea of Britt's re-emergence. Not simply because of Britt's past or her connection to Jason, but because of what it represents. A part of Jason's heart that Carly doesn't own, a life beyond her influence, a woman who once inspired in Jason something dangerously close to happiness. While Carly may claim to want what's best for Jason, history suggests otherwise. Her relationship with Jason has always walked the tightrope between platonic loyalty and romantic possessiveness. When Jason was with Sam, Carly bristled. When he showed signs of moving on, truly moving on, Carly's protective instincts would flare, cloaked in rational concern but always steeped in something more personal. Her marriage to Jason, though presented as an act of necessity, undoubtedly satisfied a deeper yearning to be his center, his confidant, his person. If Britt has indeed faked her death and returns with an explanation, no matter how plausible, Carly is unlikely to welcome her with open arms. Forgiveness is not Carly's strong suit when it comes to women who threaten her place in Jason's world. Despite Britt saving Jocelyn's life in the past, Carly may still view her through a lens of suspicion, especially if Britt's disappearance and return seem orchestrated. Carly's concern may masquerade as a plea for Jason to be careful, to avoid manipulation, but underneath it will likely be the same deep-seated fear. Losing her emotional grip on the man who has always, unfailingly, put her first. Complicating matters further is Lulu Spencer. With the possibility of Lulu awakening from her coma, or perhaps returning in some other form, her historical grudge against Britt could re-emerge with fresh venom. Lulu has not forgotten the sins of Britt's past, most notably the egregious act of stealing her embryo and carrying the child without consent. Though Britt's relationship with her own son, Rocco, has always been tenuous, her presence alone could trigger trauma for Lulu and resentment from those who love her, particularly Carly, who stood beside Lulu during that dark chapter. Should Britt and Jason rekindle their romance, it could cause a cascading chain reaction. Lulu may demand that Jason stay away from Britt, particularly when it comes to Rocco. Carly, ever loyal to the Spencers, may find herself siding with Lulu not only out of loyalty, but because it gives her a legitimate reason to oppose Britt's involvement with Jason. This alignment between Lulu and Carly could form a powerful alliance of opposition, putting Jason in the painful position of choosing between his loyalty to his lifelong friend and the chance at real happiness with someone who truly sees him. And yet, what of Jason? The man often seen as stoic and emotionally impenetrable is not without his own longings. He has lost so much, his freedom, his son Jake for a time, and the chance at a life unburdened by mob ties. Britt offered him something rare: vulnerability, humanity, and acceptance. With her, Jason could envision a future free of the weight of obligation. Her death devastated him, not simply because it was a tragic end to a promising relationship, but because it underscored a cruel pattern in his life. Every time he reaches for peace, it is ripped away. Should Britt's return turn out to be real and not some narrative sleight of hand, Jason will be forced to reckon with his feelings. Does he dare hope again, knowing the risk of loss? Can he ignore the echoes of what might have been? His choice will not be made in a vacuum. Carly will be there, voicing her opinions, veiled as concern, cloaked as loyalty. She will question Britt's intentions, analyze every word and gesture, and subtly, or not so subtly, undermine the trust Britt and Jason might try to rebuild. Meanwhile, Carly's own romantic life is far from stable. Her recent involvement with Jack Brennan has exposed her to new emotional vulnerabilities and placed her in precarious territory. If her relationship with Brennan begins to falter, perhaps due to secrets, betrayals, or dangers she hadn't anticipated, Carly will inevitably gravitate back toward Jason, seeking his stability, his comfort, his unwavering support. This emotional regression could reignite past feelings and further complicate Jason's ability to move forward with Britt, should he choose to. Even more troubling is the possibility that Carly's emotional neediness may not be consciously manipulative, but deeply ingrained. She has always turned to Jason in times of crisis. If Britt's return coincides with a personal catastrophe in Carly's life, say, the unmasking of Brennan's true motives or an unexpected loss, she may lean harder on Jason than ever before, either knowingly or unknowingly drawing him away from any chance of happiness with someone else. Then there is Sam McCall, whose own history with Jason is marked by passion, betrayal, and co-parenting. Though Sam has moved on in many respects, the shared custody of Danny keeps their lives forever entwined. Sam may not object to Britt's return, but her own past with Jason provides yet another lens through which Carly might judge Britt. After all, Carly once resented Sam too, until time and circumstance forced them into reluctant respect. Will Britt receive the same evolution, or will she remain, in Carly's eyes, the dangerous wildcard, the woman who doesn't belong? In the unpredictable ecosystem of General Hospital, no love story exists in isolation. Britt's return could offer Jason redemption, healing, and perhaps the family he's always deserved. But standing in the way are old loyalties, unresolved traumas, and the ever-persistent voice of Carly Spencer. She may not intend to sabotage Jason's chance at happiness, but she also may not be able to stop herself. As the July 18th episode looms, fans brace themselves not only for the possibility of Britt's miraculous return but for the emotional chaos it could unleash. Will Jason follow his heart, or will he once again choose duty over desire? Will Carly finally release him to his own future, or will her hold on his life continue to dictate who he loves, how he lives, and what he sacrifices? One thing is clear. Port Charles is about to tremble under the weight of long-buried feelings, resurrected love, and a woman who refuses to stay dead. And in that storm, Jason Morgan will once again be called to make an impossible choice, between the woman he once loved and the woman who has always claimed to love him most. Only time will reveal whether Britt's return is a blessing or a betrayal, and whether Carly, the ultimate protector, is prepared to step aside or become the very obstacle she fears most.